If you're just joining us, Rudy Giuliani is sweating his face off, explaining to us why Trump really won the election.
Inspectors. Every state. Almost every approved this. It's thrown away. Gone for eternity.
Is this a skit?
The only thing left is to have been a dead person. That could have been not filled out properly.
Wait, he's saying there was a dead person in the envelope? Rudy's about to have actual drops of sweat coming off of his brow. I mean, is this a normal amount? I don't know how hot it is in the room, but something seems very wrong here.
All be in the lawsuit that comes out tomorrow.
Rudy's melting.
Arizona is a state that we're looking at very, very carefully.
Strongly looking at it.
I would say we're probably, I assume, if she's working
Yeah,
with I'd like to read them all to you, but I don't have the time. You should have had the time and energy to go look for them. That's your job. Like it's my job to defend the president and to represent the president. It's Maine, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada.
Is he bleeding? Did you see? Is he bleeding from his ear? What on earth was that?
Votes needed to
It's on both sides.
to find out if I'm misleading.
Is that hair dye?
Is to look at the lawsuits. In order to do it, I
It
have to
looks
get
like
permission from
blood.
people. But in the materials,
Oh my
I
God,
have
it's
here,
everywhere.
At least 10,000 at least. And we're getting more.
He's got to get off the stage.
And there are other aspects of this fraud. On the morning of November 3rd,
Someone's got to get him a napkin.
they were going to count this new kind of ballot. This
I've
mail-in
never seen
ballot.
anything like this.
Maine,
What on earth? It's getting onto his shirt
in
now.
Michigan and in Wisconsin, any jury would accept after they heard this evidence that somebody had this plan.
This is insane.
Maybe that was always the plan.
It looks like sap from an oak tree or a maple tree. It looks like someone's making syrup.
To the city describe that to you.
Oh my God. It's all over his face. He's going to need a towel.
Dealing with
Actual evidence of
I don't know, guys. It's sounding like Trump won, isn't it, based on this?
testify.
And I was called by the biggest dumps. They call them dumps, big, massive dumps. Big, massive dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Sure.
Big, massive dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
Huge dumps were happening all over the country. What is going on here?
Big, massive dumps.
Huge dumps were happening all over the country. What is going on here?
Big, massive dumps. The FBI and Department of Justice, I don't know, maybe they're involved. Said I'm sure you felt that way. Said I'm sure you felt that way. The FBI and Department of Justice, I don't know, maybe they're involved. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
We are a laughing stock.
Big, massive dumps.
We are a laughing stock. All right, wow. Let's get away from that because we can't. It's just going on for too long. Too long, I think we might be able to say. We have two events tonight, and we are on the precipice of the California gubernatorial recall. It's such a special day that I'm wearing my orange shirt because I want to know the oranges of everything we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days. In the next few minutes, we're going to be hearing from President Joe Biden. And he is in California. He is going to be talking about this new $3.5 trillion proposal. He's going to be talking about the wildfires. It's unclear if he will give advice about raking the forest floors. We know Trump was really big on not only sinks and showers and elements of bathrooms, but also on raking the forest floors. So we will see if Biden may even demo raking the ground for us. We will see. Then Joe Biden is going to be at a rally for Gavin Newsom. Now, that's hours from now. My hope is to be long asleep by the time that happens. But after Joe Biden, Larry Elder is going to be having a rally. Larry Elder is, I mean, listen, where we are with the California recall, if Gavin Newsom gets recalled, this man here will almost certainly become the governor of California. And that is really, really scary. And in a moment, we're going to be looking at some Larry Elder clips. We're going to be looking at polling. We're going to be looking at Rose McGowan, who now I guess is supporting Larry Elder. She actually seems to have had a psychotic break, complete mental health crisis. I don't know, diagnosed, undiagnosed, unclear. But it's all pretty weaponized, I think is the way that I would put it. I have an unban request for you guys. Finally, we do have one. I have voicemails. I have thank yous. I have, what else do I have? Oh, because we are today and tomorrow, we are fighting against this recall in California. We have a new coupon code. The code is no recall. So you've got total recall. No recall is the opposite of that. And that's where we are. No recall. And that'll save you so much money off of a membership. It makes me blush. And so I'm not going to tell you. But I will thank everybody who grabs one of those memberships. Let's get right into it because I have so much material. I do want to quickly thank Fast N666, Life is Good, Grim Reaper, Ryan83, and Master McElvey, all of whom have signed up via Twitch and Twitch Prime and other Twitch elements. I think that's about all I have to say about it. We will open phone lines, Discord lines, if we get to 100, and I think it would be really a beautiful day. Now, in terms of streams for the rest of the week, I am open to streaming California results tomorrow night. My only concern, one person told me we won't know anything until 11:15 p.m. Eastern time, meaning 8:15 on the West Coast. That just seems pointlessly late. I mean, it's just like, what are we doing? You know, people, my bedtime is before that. I'll stay up a little late, but you know, what are we doing? Other people said we won't even really know the results. So just stream anytime. We'll stream what's been happening in California. There will certainly be allegations of fraud. We can stream that. And either way, we're not going to know the results. And then that'll be it. And then other people just don't even know who I am and have no idea what I'm talking about when I say maybe I'll stream tomorrow. And I guess I'll just, their opinion is sort of irrelevant one way or the other. I don't know. I'm just not really sure. So that's tomorrow. And then I'm still trying to figure out what time is the September 18th Trump riot. It's weird to be like, there's a Trump riot scheduled. They say it's going to be peaceful, but I've got a wedding to go to in the evening on Saturday. If the riot is scheduled for like noon, I would absolutely stream even 3 p.m. Eastern time. I can probably stream until about, let me think. When do I need to get in the shower? Probably until 4:30 or something like that. So if at any point anybody gets some information about what time the rally is scheduled for on Saturday, which may or may not turn into a riot, let me know. And then we'll look very strongly at scheduling. Now, also, if you know what time the rally starts, but you also know what time they'll start rioting, that would be useful to know as well. That's a good point for sure. And in fact, if they could move the riot to Sunday, I would prefer it because then we could do a much longer and wider stream. I mean, it's kind of, or maybe I could get the wedding moved. Either way. No, the wedding must stay. All right. I want to say thank you to James Quinn, who is the first person in history to sign up on my website with the coupon code No Recall and his new member number 6 today. Very much appreciate that, James. Let's make James proud and let's not leave him alone at the top of the mountain with the code No Recall. Let's keep things going. All right, a few super chats. Michael says, David, I work for the New York state government. Vaccines are mandated. One of my coworkers is quitting and moving to Texas as a result. All right, well, have fun. Atari says, sir, people talk about eating the bugs living in the pods, but have you looked around lately? I don't know that reference. Big Boo Boo says, what are your thoughts on Cristiano returning to Manchester? I don't know a thing about it. I follow Messi and the Argentinian men's national team, and that's basically it. Who's Cristiano anyway? I don't even know. No, I'm kidding. I know who that is, but didn't really like him in Mrs. Doubtfire. So hopefully he's got better scripts these days. Okay, so let's get into some of these different things. First and foremost, if we want to just be empirical, it's looking better and better for Gavin Newsom. What was at one point basically a dead heat a month ago, it's now plus 16, plus 15.9 for Gavin Newsom, keeping Gavin Newsom. So my hope is, let me put it this way. If I were a betting man, even money, I'm betting that Newsom stays. Okay. I'm not really sure by how much. Everybody must vote because the risk is too big if Newsom is replaced with Larry Elder. But what I would love to see is the recall movement humiliated, blown out of the water. And part of what's going on is that this is another one of these pseudo referenda on Trump, because Larry Elder has been a big pro-Trump guy and Newsom has been sort of, a target of Trump. And so there is an element of this that is kind of like a referendum on Trump as well. So we just need to absolutely crush. Speaking of Gavin Newsom, we're standing by here for Joe Biden. Remember, this is just the first of two events. Larry Elder will be having a big rally in a little bit. Unclear if he'll be joined by Rose McGowan. So when Joe Biden starts speaking, we're going to go to him. Actually, since it is the eve of his recall, let's listen a little bit to Gavin Newsom as well.
And I know the president will be speaking a lot about those opportunities in the next day and the upcoming weeks as he refers to the work he's doing to advance this historic infrastructure package. But I want to just make a point, Mr. President, with your indulgence, that despite the President of the United States being here, I would stipulate the most powerful force on the planet is not even the President of the United States. It's Mother Nature. She is, as others have said,
right.
All she is chemistry, biology, and physics. She bats last. She bats 1,000. We are dealing with extremes, the likes of which we've never dealt with in our state's history.
Oh, yeah.
One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Summer we have ever experienced in California's history between June and August. A West Coast drought that some have referred to as a mega drought that arguably began in 2000. The hots are getting a lot hotter, the dries are getting drier, and as you saw on the East Coast of the United States, where people quite literally were drowning in their cars, the wets are getting a lot wetter with atmospheric rivers and the consequences of warming seas and more intense tropical storms.
The sign language interpreter is in sepia tone today.
By the challenges and that reality, but also, as I noted, optimistic by not only California's capacity to work through situationally, and we are. The Calder fire that we just visited that took the town of Grizzly Flats, that fire now is 67% contained. The Dixie fire now about 3/4 contained. Situationally, we are battling these wildfires and making progress. But the sustainable mindset we have is to address these smash mouth realities and to lead the conversation anew in this country to radically change the way we produce and consume energy and to continue to lead our nation leading efforts as it relates to low carbon green growth. California's leadership is demonstrable. California's leadership has been challenged in the last 4 years, but those headwinds now are tailwinds with the Biden administration. We're not sparring partners, we're working partners as it relates to issues of climate change and dealing with the...
Didn't this guy used to date Kimberly Guilfoyle, the lunatic mania woman that's now dating Don Jr., the best is yet to come lady? Am I misremembering that?
You took the time to be here, but as I began, let me end by saying this is not...
They were married, really?
...this issue. We held 2 summits.
That's weird.
Governors proactively held with the president's assistance. Not only did he show up to make remarks, he stayed until the end of both conversations. I've been around this business long enough to note the distinction between people that are interested in things and people that are committed to solving things. The President of the United States' commitment is demonstrable. Now, the 3rd time here physically seeing the impacts of these wildfires for himself, but his commitments he made in June, the commitments he made in July, the promises that he made to follow up, he delivered on. We had specifically 4 things we requested of the President of the United States. All 4 he delivered on. And so, Mr. President, let me also take this moment, not just to thank you for being here at this critical juncture, but thank you for delivering on your promises. Thank you for meeting this moment head on, and thank you for leading a conversation anew in this country around resiliency and around painting an optimistic picture of the future as we transition to a low-carbon, green growth future. And so with that, let me introduce the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thanks, Cal.
A lot of buzzwords there, dropping them in.
Well, folks, thank you, Governor, for those comments. I want to say good afternoon and to all of you here in this cool hangar. Earlier today,
Biden's got a long day ahead of him. He's got a rally in like 3 hours.
in Boise, Idaho, the center located is a locational hub for our federal firefighting resources in the region. And we just surveyed some of the damage of the Calder fire here in California, which in less than a month has wiped out for 200,000 acres and 1,000 structures. Homes, precious memories destroyed, air quality degraded, local economy stopped in its tracks, and nearly 200 people in the area forced to live in shelters. Everyone in Northern California knows the time of the year when you can't go outside, when the air will be filled with smoke, and the sky will turn a apocalyptic shade of orange.
Oh, that's tough.
Parents worried about keeping their children safe in a pandemic worry about air quality as well. Thus far, the nationwide over 44,000 wildfires have burned nearly 5,300,000 acres, roughly the size of the state of New Jersey. In California, this year more than 2.2 million acres have burned. The Dixie Fire burned nearly 1 million alone, and we're working closely with Governor Newsom to make sure California has every resource available to keep families safe. And the governor has led his state with poise and strong leadership. He's been an innovator in items for long-term solutions, and he and I are both optimistic. These fires are blinking code red for our nation. They're gaining frequency and ferocity, and we know what we have to do. And it starts with our firefighters, putting their lives on the line in rugged and dangerous conditions. I never forget coming out to Arizona in 2013 to speak at the memorial of the 19 Granite Mountain hotshots who gave their lives. Firefighters are unmatched in their bravery. That's why I took the action I did in June to ensure that all federal firefighters earn at least the minimum wage, and we're working on fundamentally changing the benefits that are available to them. FEMA has approved 33 fire management assistance grants to help Western states pay for the cost of fighting these awful fires. We used the Defense Production Act to address the shortage in fire hoses. Because of the pandemic, we found ourselves in a situation where there's a backlog in an awful lot of things. We restarted the idle production line in Oklahoma, bringing back to work and delivering thousands of new feet of new fire hoses to the front lines. Hard to believe, short on fire hoses. In addition, we've tapped DOD, the Department of Defense, for 10 aircraft, 20 C-130s, a modular airborne firefighting systems with those systems, and to help our fire suppression, the RC-26 aircraft to provide critical imagery from space. They're based in California, and they've now flown over 1,000 missions across the West. 250 active duty military troops on the ground at Dixie Fire in California, working alongside firefighters. We're sharing satellite imagery to help detect and monitor fire growth. And the EPA is using new technology to deliver fire, smoke, and air quality information directly to people's cell phones. Our friends from Canada and Australia are providing help through both firefighters as well as aircraft. And my Build Back Better plan includes billions of dollars for wildfire preparedness, resilience, and response, forest management to restore millions of acres, and to protect homes and public water sources. This bipartisan bill includes more than $8 billion to increase resilience in wildfires. And to that, counting resolution packages include, the continuing resolution package includes $14 billion in disaster needs, including $9 billion for communities hit by wildfire and drought. We're not going to leave these people in distress.
Right.
We know that decades of forest management decisions have created hazardous conditions across the western forest. But we can't ignore the reality that these wildfires are being supercharged by climate change. It isn't about red or blue states, it's about fires, just fires. In the past 2 weeks, I've been to Louisiana, where Hurricane Eta hit, and with winds up to 179 miles an hour gusting. New Jersey and New York, walking down the streets, main streets, meeting with families and first responders, seeing the destruction of these disasters caused, dreams crushed, lives interrupted. Scientists have been warning us for years that extreme weather is going to get more extreme. We're living it in real time now. Extreme weather cost America last year $99 billion. Let me say it again. Extreme weather in the United States cost the United States of America a total of $99 billion. And this year, unfortunately, we're going to break that record. It's a devastating loss to our economy and for so many communities. When we fail to curb pollution from smokestacks and tailpipes and continue to use fossil fuels as we do, we increase risk that firefighters face. But each dollar we invest in resilience saves up to $6 down the road when the next fire doesn't spread as widely. And those investments also save lives. When I think about climate change, I think about not the cost, I think about good paying jobs they'll create. But I also think about the jobs.
Is there even an audience here, or are they just like in an empty room with cameras in front of them? I sometimes wonder.
Because we haven't acted boldly enough. We have to build back, and you've heard me say it 100 times. Not just build back, but build back better as one nation. We got to do it together. We'll get through this together. We just have to keep the faith. Folks, we have the bipartisan infrastructure bill that's been passed and is bipartisan, and I believe we'll get done the so-called reconciliation bill that has another several $1 trillion in it. Let me close by saying, when people talk about the cost of the Build Back Better proposal beyond the infrastructure, let me remind you, the cost may be as much as $3.5 trillion. But to put that in perspective, it's spent out over 10 years, number one. And number two, it's expected our economy will grow to $366 trillion GDP by that time.
We can't afford not to do it.
1.5% total in terms of deficit of that total amount. In addition to that, the 90% of it's paid for. And so, folks, we have to think big. Thinking small is a prescription for disaster.
Right.
We're going to get this done. This nation is going to come together, and we are going to beat this climate change. Thank you.
All right. And off they go.
Get vaccinated.
Exactly. So there is Joe Biden in California now. A little under 3 hours from now, he will be over to a rally for Gavin Newsom, the movement to keep Gavin Newsom, of course, supported by Newsom himself. On the other side of that, tomorrow, of course, the California recall election is Larry Elder, and he will be having a rally in a little bit. We're going to be going to that, and I'm going to get to some Larry Elder clips in a little bit. First, let me get caught up on Super Chats because there are so many. Denver says, David, I was absolutely gutted to see that Gutfeld is now the leading late night comedy show from the standpoint of ratings. I tried to hate watch it and could only make it 3 minutes. More than I survived, Denver. Dan says, do you ever debate intelligent conservatives? Name them, my friend, name them. Brett says, sir, my conservative mom is obsessed with the Great Reset as being a new world order. Do you have any videos of the orange of this conspiracy? I don't. I'm so bored by the Great Reset. I really am. TGQ says, could you please engage talking about Sarah Huckleberry's run? I assume you mean Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The siphoning of money is incredible. Yeah, I haven't been following that too much, but I want to learn more about it. Bayphoto says, wish there had been time to interview Meet Kevin. Someone needs to press him on his stock financial advice. How it'd be a huge conflict if he was governor. Yeah, I think, Kevin's a nice guy. I know him. I think he's got no shot. Sager says, sir, thoughts on Trump reportedly considering flying to Brazil and endorsing President Bolsonaro at a mega rally. If it happens, please stream. I haven't heard of that, but that sounds really funny. Let's see. Trump, Brazil, Bolsonaro rally. Not seeing anything about it. Trump open to endorsing Bolsonaro's reelection, possibly at a mega rally featuring them both. Trump told Confidence he's open to publicly endorsing Bolsonaro's reelection, potentially at a mega rally in Brazil, where he and Bolsonaro could appear together side by side to rail against what they each deem undesired election outcomes. Bolsonaro is expected to lose decisively against Lula. Wow, that's interesting. Man, if that rally happens, I would have to be all over that. That sounds wild. I do want to say thank you to Christy Roshan. Christy just signed up on my website with the coupon code NORECALL. Guys, listen, we're here because if this lunatic Republican Larry Elder becomes governor of California after tomorrow's recall, we are really screwed. It will be a signal that is a very pro-Trump signal. I'm going to go through some of Larry Elder's outrageous comments and policy positions in a moment. So as a reminder about the importance of no recall, today we have a coupon code, no recall. Let's test it and see if it's working. Hold on, where is all my stuff here? Here it is. You go to my website, joinpacman.com. You go monthly or yearly. Yearly is a better deal. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Coupon code, no recall. No recall. 60 very quickly becomes, I'm not even going to say the number because it's 60 goes away. Let's put it that way. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good. Okay. All right, good. So we're caught up as far as super chats go. A few Twitch Prime sign-up messages. Junk Saint signing up for 6 months says, if you see something, say something. The 18th is approaching. Absolutely. And by the way, if you know anything about the video of in fact, let's just look at it because we have time. If you know anything about the pipe bomber in D.C., please call the FBI. Please call the FBI. We have the video now. They've looked at a bunch of different camera angles and have started to ascertain the route that the pipe bomber took on January 5th. These are the pipe bombs that were found in D.C. on the day of the Trump riots. Okay? They've started to figure it out. All these people were sending me messages saying, it looks like a woman. Is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? It looks like there's a hidden ponytail in the hoodie. I don't know anything. but there is no way in hell no one knows anything. Someone must know something about this person. Either they saw them elsewhere in the city, or they have a friend that mentioned something. Here they kind of put their backpack down, and then an individual comes by with a dog, walking a dog. They kind of, who knows what they're doing. They're trying to kind of play it cool. Here comes the guy with the dog. I don't know if they're applying an eye drop there or what's going on, maybe on the phone. Car goes by. Here comes the dog guy. And there they go. Just super casual. Just here. I'm just here on the phone. Sir, could I order a pizza? Oh, whoop. Let me grab my backpack with my pipe bombs in it. Very dangerous individual. I'm open to the idea that it's a man or a woman. I think there's an idea here that this, I don't know. I don't want to say looks feminine, but a lot of people are writing to me saying there's something here that's making me think this is a woman. Then sits in a park, just kind of spending time with the pipe bombs in the backpack. You can review all this, but in all seriousness, 1-800-FBI-TIPS, 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 as well as tips.fbi.gov. You can send tips anonymously. We've got to be able to figure out who this is, folks. All right, sirs. Let's see. Then they get up here. And then this is a park near one of the two locations were sort of like near the RNC and near the DNC. Yeah, I would look into subpoenaing the dog that walked by, seeing if the dog remembers anything. That's fair. Folks, it's clearly a deranged individual. Does that narrow it down to 3/4 of the population? So that's that. And then 8 p.m. So yeah, I mean, this is all the day before the Trump riots. 8:08 p.m. shows back up over here. I mean, a lot of walking around, circuitous route, and then eventually planting the bomb. This is, I believe, out behind the RNC. Still walking with the backpack. Walking, still has the backpack. We got to get this person, guys. We've got to get this person. Just circling. In significant, smaller and smaller squares. And then that's basically the end as far as we know of the, there we go. So let's do what we can on that, okay, guys? Because this is important stuff. We've got to figure that out. We should be looking at what shoes they have, all of these different things, every single one of these things. I want to say thank you to Joshua Nelson, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code No Recall. No recall. Also, thank you to Larry Riley signing up with the code No Recall, as well as Trace Swagger using the code No Recall, putting us at 11. Guys, we'll open phones if we get to 100. Twitch also counts. No Recall is the code. All right, let's continue. So, as I already mentioned, the numbers looking better and better for Gavin Newsom. I believe we should keep Gavin Newsom. It doesn't mean Gavin Newsom is perfect, but Larry Elder would be an absolute and total disaster. This has gone viral. Nicki Minaj, the artist, Nicki Minaj. What's going on here? There we go. Nicki Minaj tweeted a very strange message about the vaccine, saying, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding over the swollen testicles. That's weird. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied." It sounds more like an STD, quite frankly, than vaccine based. Could this possibly be real? It's right back. Whoa. Edgy content. What a bizarre situation. Yeah, it really makes more sense. Actually, that's what I'm going to reply. Is it maybe possible the swollen apple bags were an STD from cheating, and that's why the wedding was called off Oh man. All right, guys, we gotta let's power like this one right here. Okay. Man, what a world we live in. There are no STDs that give you swollen balls. Yeah, I suspected that. It's just comedy, guys. It's just comedy. I'm considering this like a free association sort of thing. All right. So let's continue. Here is an event from yesterday with Larry Elder, actress Rose McGowan, who seems to have gone completely off her rocker. She, I guess, supports Larry Elder. Let's just listen to a little bit of this and see if she's making any sense.
People say to me, Americans are the most uneducated. Not wrong, but they are wrong in this. It's undereducated. It's systematic, and it's done to you all on purpose to keep you part of a complicity machine that benefits few. This is not a country or a state for everyone. This is a country for the few. This is a country for people like hair gel in the Bahamas. Okay, that's the reality. And I really wish.
What's that? This is a country like hair gel in the Bahamas? What does that mean?
Better news. It gives me no pleasure to be the bearer of like truth, which is sometimes ugly. But do you want a society that has gangrene on its leg, but puts on a fancy suit and pretends it's not there while they hobble in pain? Or do you want to just stop, look at reality, take your medicine, clean up the wound, and run? Run free. Why not change? Why not go big? Why not put a stake in
It's funny because it's like, however delusional you think her speech is, there's nothing in it that would point to voting for Larry Elder for governor of California. That's the funniest part of it.
Of evil, because that's what this really is. This is good and this is evil. And if you're tired of people looking at this country like it's the Florida of the world, which it is, looked upon that way because, you know, it's earned it in a lot of ways.
What?
I know this place has it in it to be better. I know it does. I've met so many good people in this country. Not the elites. Absolutely not. But the person I meet, you know, that's the housekeeper at the hotel I'm staying at.
The team of housekeepers at my hotel and the two butlers, these are really people that are struggling.
Sepha Hyde.
Shouldn't even have that title because she's a queen of a woman. And then we have the Jennifer Siebel Newsoms of the world.
What?
Why? Why do you keep choosing that? Why do you keep electing that? Don't listen to their buzzwords. Cult leaders, which is what these people are. I would know. I grew up in one, like I said. They massage your mind.
Ooh.
They keep you in fear. They keep you in doubt. I kind of suspect on the inside that this is all a lie.
Does anybody understand what the reference, like, why would you vote for Elder if you hear this stuff, even if you agree with it?
But I don't want to be the one that stands out and takes it on the chin. Well, I'm here to confirm for you it is a lie. It is a fact.
It is a lie, and it is a fact that it is a lie. That's almost like this sentence is false. If it's true, then it's false. But if it's false, it's very, very strange. But it's sort of on brand. Let me see if there's any more of this stuff. Here they are arriving. What a really weird event. Man, it's weird. Let's see if there's any other clips from that. I don't know if she'll be at today's rally. No, it seems to be just this same clip. Okay, so we got that. Here's a few of Larry Elder's political positions. Let's take a look here. Okay, he is an ardent supporter. Should I zoom this in a little bit? Here we go. Where were we? He's an ardent supporter of former President Trump, frequently praising him on Twitter. He was an early supporter of Trump's 2016 candidacy for president. 2019, speaking to an audience about the election, Elder said it was a miracle. He is almost God sent. Okay. That's why I'm considering this sort of a referendum on Trump, because this, I mean, it's hard to have a more Trump associated guy than this guy. After Biden won and Trump made false claims of fraud while refusing to concede, Elder said he did not believe that Biden won. Elder has argued that it's unfair to blame Trump for the Trump riots. Elder opposed tariffs imposed by Trump and Trump's decision to draw down U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Okay. Elder opposes minimum wage laws, arguing the ideal minimum wage is zero. He opposes universal basic income. He opposes California's unpaid family leave law. Elder has criticized the war on poverty. Elder criticized Chris Christie for accepting the architecture of the welfare state and claimed the government took almost 50% of the American people's money through mandates. PolitiFact rated it mostly false. Elder has been critical of unions. He contends 15,000 California teachers are incompetent. Previously proposed thousands be fired. Okay. In August of 21, Elder came under criticism for his history of statements about women. Elder has said women know less than men about political issues, economics, and current events. Oh my God. In reference to the results from a study from UPenn. Elder argued the Democratic Party was often successful with women because of their emotionally driven but unsound policies. He says women who took part in the 2017 Women's March were obese and unattractive, and that premenstrual syndrome stands for punish my spouse, has endorsed pregnancy discrimination by employers, and claimed that statistics about domestic violence are exaggerated to promote feminism. This actually may be completely unbridled evil. Guys, are we... Hold on a second. I think I need to ban someone here. Hold on a second. Let me take a look. Let me just explore. Someone's getting my attention, and I think they probably need to get banned. Yep, they do. Okay. See, I'm at. There you go. Don't even bother appealing. All right, let's continue. Elder has often denied that a gender wage gap exists. Elder contends employers should be allowed to discriminate in employment against women who plan to have children. In his 2002 book, he wrote that women who choose to have children are not dedicated to their jobs, suggests they lack a commitment to work. He reiterated it in 2021. Elder's former fiancée, Alexandra Dadig, accused him of abuse. Oh, okay. Dadig, a longtime former radio producer for Elder who once worked as a prostitute, was engaged to Elder for 2 years. Dadig said Elder demanded she show devotion by having Larry's Girl tattooed on herself. Oh, my God. And during an argument, brandished a gun in a threatening manner. After Dadig's allegations became public, the Sacramento Bee editorial board and fellow candidates called for Elder to withdraw. Elder has denied the accusations. Elder said in 2011 he had twice been accused of sexual harassment, denying it both times. In one case, he defended himself by implying the woman was too unattractive for him to sexually harass. That's Trumpian. That's literally a page out of Trump's playbook. Actually, it was in 2011. So really, Trump took it out of Elder's playbook in a way. Elder said, quote, if you had seen her, you would know that the picture would be a complete defense. I'm just saying. Elder is against abortion. He calls it murder. He argued Roe v. Wade should be overturned. He called the decision one of the worst the Supreme Court ever handed down. Elder has a history of anti-LGBT remarks. He has repeatedly used male pronouns referring to trans women, such as Playboy model Ines Rao and fellow gubernatorial candidate Caitlyn Jenner. Elder accused California of having a soft-on-crime ethos. He opposed a California law banning police from using certain chokeholds. He opposed the law reclassifying misdemeanors many low-level drug and property crimes. Wow. This is one of the worst candidates for any office ever. It's not just that this guy shouldn't be California governor. This may be one of the worst people I've ever come across. Public health and environment. During his media career, Elder published and gave airtime to misinformation and fringe views on scientific topics, such as secondhand tobacco smoke, climate change, and COVID. He suggested secondhand tobacco smoke has been exaggerated, rejects the consensus. He once described climate change as a myth. He called it a crock. Wow. In 21, he pledged to remove statewide public health mandates for government workers, such as COVID vaccine requirements, face mask requirements, or COVID testing.
And then I see the disinfectant. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside?
Yeah. In 2021, he did not challenge a call-in listener to his radio show who espoused COVID-19 misinformation, suggesting COVID-19 vaccines were dangerous and part of a Bill Gates orchestrated plot. And a page on his website actually promoted the Collins comments, saying you'll want to hear this physician's take on the vaccines.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, very powerful light.
In the 2021 gubernatorial recall, Newsom's campaign misleadingly characterized Republican opponents as anti-vax. While Elder opposes vaccine mandates, he supported vaccination, being vaccinated himself. All right.
Convalescent plasma.
Race. Elder defines himself as an American who is black rather than as an African American. He called systemic racism a lie, blamed Black Lives Matter for crime. Elder believes welfare is more harmful to black families than slavery. Elder suggests slave owners should receive reparations for having their property, meaning slaves, taken away from them. Yeah, I actually have some of those clips, which we'll get to in a moment. Here they are. Let's just keep an eye on the rally. Okay, it hasn't started yet. Let me get caught up just on a couple things so I don't fall behind. I do want to say thank you to Dustin D, Sivart, Sardonic M for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, numbers 12, 13, and 14. Very much appreciate that. Also want to say thank you to people dumping in memberships on the website using today's special coupon code No Recall. We're here against the California recall, guys. Okay? So today you can use the coupon code on my website, No Recall. No Recall. All right? People who just did that. Derry Cohey has just signed up. Chris Hutchinson is a new member. Bradley Bodden has used the code No Recall. Kristen Schreiber is a new member. David Uslan has signed up. And Sarah Klendworth signed up with the coupon code No Recall. Absolutely no recall. Very much appreciate that. Before we keep going. Yeah, actually, let's do the Candace Owens thing. Okay. So here is Larry Elder a couple weeks ago saying, hey, what about reparations for the slave owners who could no longer own the slaves?
Right behind them.
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And
who's more gross, Larry Elder or Candace Owens?
So their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
There you go. So a very strong case they made there by California gubernatorial candidate Larry Elder.
Larry Elder, the
that the slave owner should get reparations, which they actually did. I think it was in was it in Washington D.C. that Lincoln signed for like $300 per slave for the slave owners or something like that. Something like that. Yeah. It was DC. Okay. Yeah. Very good. All right. Let's continue with Larry Elder here in this clip. This was earlier today. Elder would not commit to accepting the results of the election. Wow. I'm shocked, guys. Really surprising.
Larry Elder, the leading Republican candidate, would not commit to accepting the results of the election.
Right.
Again, whether or not you win or lose, will you accept the results of the election tomorrow?
I think we all ought to be looking at election integrity, no matter whether you're
That means no, guys.
a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican.
Democrat.
Let's all make sure that the election is a fair election. So let's all work together, no matter what the results are, to make sure that the results are valid and legitimate. And everybody.
Now, what people need to start asking in these particular cases, I think this might be Jacob Sabaroff, not a friend of the show, but sort of an acquaintance, let's say. What Jacob should say, and maybe he will say it, is, do you have any reason to believe there has been foul play or the results will not be accurate? Because absent that, what you're saying doesn't make any sense, Larry.
Who voted should have voted. Let's all do that together.
Is that a commitment to accept the results of the election tomorrow?
Let's all do that together. Let's all work together on both sides of the aisle to make sure that the election is a fair election.
Yeah. So again, I would really like to see that question followed up specifically with, do you have any evidence that this is not being done fairly? And of course, the evidence that they will claim it is stolen is that Larry Elder is not doing particularly well. Okay, here's two clips of Trump already starting up with this. Here was Trump on Newsmax saying it's already been rigged, guys. It's already rigged.
Got the recall election coming up in less than a week. It's actually happening as we speak. The polls appear to show Newsom looks safer at this point. Larry Elder is the man that could take it from him. What do you think happens in California?
Well, it's probably rigged. They're sending out all ballots. It's all...
it's just rigged. It's rigged. The casual nature with which this guy just says elections are rigged is horrifying.
The ballots are, mail out, mail in ballots. In fact, I
mail them out and you mail them in. They're just mailed in, out, exiting, entering.
guess you even have a case where you can make your own ballot. When that happens, nobody's going to win except these Democrats. So, look, they're very good. The one thing they're good at is rigging elections. So
there's Trump on Newsmax saying it's rigged. Here is Trump on... Oh, this is the same clip. Sorry. This is the same clip, right? Let's see.
The ballots are, mail out.
Yeah, okay, that's the same clip. So he's already saying it's been rigged. That's the gist of it, guys. That's the gist of it. Let's get to some other super chats. I missed a few here. Where did I leave off? Here we go. I bet Larry Elder has a poster of Jesse Lee Peterson on his wall.
Beta! You love me? She hung up. Beta! It's amazing. Everything you're doing is wrong.
Exactly. Daniel says, I haven't seen Total Recall. Is it good? I haven't seen it either. I don't know. Headcase says, I have a coworker willing to throw away his 30-year pension to avoid our company's vaccine mandate. He was supposed to retire in February. Good luck to him. Godspeed. The two questions in the recall are not mutually exclusive. You can answer both questions even if you answer no. That's important. That's important. You can consider question 2 as a plan B. Please spread the message. Very important. David, sir. Hold on. I need my sir material. David, sir.
Sir, I don't know.
Oh, can you please make greater use of quote tweets? We really need the full context on the Apple bag situation. Yeah, how is my tweet doing? Oh, it's not bad. All right. Some of you guys agreeing there. A cousin's friend from the island. Yeah, it's all pretty suspect. I'm not going to lie. All right, there we go. Bay Photo says Rose McGowan, Larry Elder, worst table read ever. Alexander Hegstad with a very strong 219 Norwegian kroner super chat says the left side of politics in Norway secured a major victory in today's election, a majority in parliament and a new prime minister. In addition, one of our most left-leaning parties secured a major mandate in parliament. Congratulations, Alexander. It may not go so well here tomorrow. We'll see. How bizarre is it that we have the technology to stream media instantly at the same time that people like Larry Elder exist in large numbers? That is scary. That is very, very scary. All right, let me get to my unban request. When you get banned on Twitch, and it does happen, you can submit a request to be unbanned, and I adjudicate these one by one. I have a mallet or gavel for that. User Warhead 420 Man showed up on the day of my last stream within looks like seconds of following, which is a requirement to chat, says, why does Africa use ivermectin? They were banned and they are saying, let me in, please. Ooh, that's tough. I mean, we've explained why in places where they have few other medication options, they just start throwing whatever they have at a condition. I'm actually willing to unban this person, but we're going to keep a close eye on them. Okay? There we go. Here is another user named Fitzy J. They were banned. Actually, they were banned last year. That's interesting. They were banned last year after sending the message, Marxist retards putting gender-affirming anti-racist task force to stop raping and pillaging going on in liberal shitholes. Remember to comply with the criminals. They were banned They recently requested an unban with the message, "You are a 12 IQ retard who can't spew 5 words without being a condescending prick towards people more intelligent and with more life experience. Debate me any day on any of your positions. Also, don't forget to get your booster shot, LMAO." That is a permaban, my friends, if I've ever seen one. All right. Bye-bye. So there we have it. We are all caught up as far as unban requests as we stand by for Larry Elder in the state of California. Do you guys want to do a couple other Trump videos or some voicemails? What's the preference? Yes, it's been adjudicated for sure. Let's do a couple voicemails and then we'll go into some of the clips that I have. We'll go one at a time. Okay? Here we go. All right, just static. Here we go.
Hi, David. This is Zach calling from Nevada. And I just watched your clip about why Joe Biden's approval rating was actually going down. And it got me thinking about a few things. One, mainly, something I kind of wanted your opinion on. So I'm not calling for anything crazy or calling for anything different than democracy. But when Trump was first president, one thing I really noticed is that there didn't seem to be any fundamental.
Okay. We're going to move on. It does go on 3 minutes and then they call back after getting cut off. My instinct is they did not get to the question. Let's listen to some more other ones.
Hey, David, this is Larry from Texas in Austin area. I'm just finished listening to a bit about the interview with Susan Powell and kind of wondering, is this more of that crazy video that I think I've seen on Netflix?
Did they say Susan Powell? What does anybody know what they're talking about? The interview bit about, did they say Hu Jintao? What?
It's called The Secret, where you basically, if you believe something hard enough, eventually it will come true. Because really that's kind of what all of these things sound like, is if they just believe it hard enough, that'll come true. Because I can't, I'm at a loss for what else.
I just don't know what they're referring to. I'm sure it's interesting, but I'm not familiar with what they're referring to.
You are exactly 101% correct.
This is ASMR Bernie sounding guy.
For us to go.
Oh, Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell. That must be it. Yeah.
Stay. In fact, there are reasons why we should have never gone there in the first place, because they didn't want us there. Our way of life is a way of life, not the way of life.
Whoa.
We had no reason whatsoever for our military soldiers to be walking down back in the day when we first got there, a year and a half after 9/11, and having our U.S. soldiers walking down the street down Iraq and slapping the hands of civilian Iraqi men holding hands in public. That is their way of life, not ours necessarily, unless you're, an American and you're gay.
Okay, well, that's something else. All right, let's continue with let's continue with some other voicemails. Here we go.
I grew up in politics, and I've been very interested. I'm a progressive Californian, and I've been keeping track of news for Jacksonville, Canadian news, and several other things just to keep my pulse on things. I literally have direct evidence of news for Jacksonville of being anti-vaccine.
Okay, I don't know anything about that station, and local news is really, really, really litigious. So I'm going to be very, very careful about that. I want to say thank you to Do You Grok as well as Nikki206 for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Remember, those don't renew automatically. And if you're leaving $5 in Bezos's pocket, that's not so good. Okay. So make sure that, that you re-up that Twitch Prime sub. And remember, because today, this is no recall. We're against the recall, and we'll be live maybe tomorrow with results. We have a new coupon code today only, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe the whole year, but probably just today. Coupon code no recall on my website. You save, everybody wins, everybody loves it. All right, I'll thank everybody. A couple more voicemails.
Sí, buenos días, David. Mi nombre es José Escárcega de Los Ángeles, California. Soy un gran aficionado de tu programa y pues me di cuenta que hablas perfecto español.
Right.
Y la verdad que veo la mala información que tenemos nosotros los hispanos por cuestiones del lenguaje, ¿no? Y yo creo que, no sé que estás demasiado ocupado y que quizás es demasiado para ti, pero sería bueno si pudieras tener algún enlace en tu programa que lleve a los latinos a escuchar algo.
This guy's making a really good point. He's saying, he's a big fan, and, he's aware that I speak Spanish, and that there's a lot of misinformation among the American Latino community, and it would be great to do something to reach that community. Now, I did a Spanish show for like 10 weeks, right around the election. I'm really, really busy, really, really busy. So I have to, I don't know how much I can do, but there should be more Spanish language content for American Latino folks. Very important. Perfect voicemail. Thanks to a true gamer, TW, and the B Dizzle for re-upping and creating new Twitch Prime subscriptions. Let's, Cade Smith says, sir, have you watched season 2 of Lupin yet? Yes, I have. Alex says, you knew the person meant Sidney Powell, right? I didn't initially. I actually did not. I eventually figured it out. Okay. Here's a voicemail from the Eggman, still really angry that I'm more empathetic than him.
Hey, Dave, I read the article Empathy Wars. I totally understand that the deaths of these horrible people can negatively affect their children. And I understand that, okay? But there's a point, Dave, where you have to understand the deaths of these people will benefit their children too. There's some point, there's a fulcrum in there, okay? So when somebody is spreading this mass propaganda, the odds are their children will grow up to follow in their footsteps.
Interesting.
At some point, Dave, the deaths of these people will positively affect their children.
That's actually, it's spin, but it's not crazy. The Eggman is hard to believe he's a convicted felon, right?
I get it. It will negatively affect them also to some point, okay? But when they're really bad, it's a positive thing. I listen to a podcast. It's all about biographies. I love people, right? People grow up with horrible situations and turn out great in life. The biggest question, is it better to grow up with a shitty father or no father at all? Shalom, brother.
Wow. Shalom and bevakasha and all of the other things. What is this? And he also called back? Okay, no, this other one, it's almost like a private message to me. We're going to skip over that for now, okay? Here's a voicemail about the entire Jimmy from Philly, Dr. K thing.
Hi, David. I was just watching your live stream with Dr. K and Jimmy Dore, and I haven't watched Jimmy Dore for a while, but...
Oh, my God. Does this guy think Jimmy from Philly is actually Jimmy Dore? Is it at all possible on this planet that someone watched the 2-hour session with Dr. K and Jimmy from Philly and thought that was Jimmy Dore? Is it even at all possible that that's what someone came away believing, that that's the Jimmy Dore that people are talking about?
He's really down bad, and it was really sad to see where he's at. Drug use and all, doing whippets the whole time. That was crazy. And I really hope he gets, back to where he once was.
I can't tell if it's a joke. It's very nicely done, but that would be unbelievable. That would be really unbelievable. I think this is another one.
David, sir, I'm bummed that I missed most of the Jimmy from Philly live stream. Great job. It was really kind of eye-opening. But I'm wondering if you will take some of your viewers' questions for next time to ask Jimmy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would bring some questions. If Jimmy wanted to do something, I would do that. I would do that. That was hard to understand voicemail, but I would definitely do that. I do want to say thank you to John Schleifer. John just signed up on joinpacman.com and is new member number 26 today. Also want to say thanks to Ferd Steiger, who just got a Twitch Prime subscription and is number 27. It is a perfect day for subscriptions. Let's do a couple of the Trump clips, and then we'll get back to this before the Larry Elder thing. Okay. On the 20th anniversary of 9/11, which was 2 days ago, Donald Trump did a very sober and serious thing. He did commentary for a boxing match with his kid. Here is I guess you would call this a promo.
We're here at Hard Rock in Florida, and we're going to have hopefully a great night with a lot of great champions, and they're going to be, to them, they're going to be having a good time. I wouldn't want to do it. A lot of people wouldn't want to do it, but they look like they're going to have a good time. I just saw a couple of the fighters, and they love doing this stuff. So,
if you had hinging forward at the waist on your bingo card, you can cross that off right now.
we're going to watch Evander and Vitor. We're going to watch Anderson Silva. Tito is fantastic. We're going to have some fun tonight.
Guys, I think this is going to be a lot of levity at the end of a rather somber day. Have a little bit of fun. Don't forget to shoot me your questions. I may have to finally twist his arm a little bit to find out about Area 51 and the aliens or whatever else you may want to ask about.
Yeah,
so.
that was the grift. Don all day spent the day saying, get the pay-per-view of this fight because I might convince my dad to tell us the truth about aliens. Like, it was like a sub-grift. It was a secondary grift.
We're going to have some fun at the end of a somber day, and I'm just looking forward to it. Some of the great fight legends are here.
It's going to be a real party. Then here's some of the, I guess you would call this commentary. I don't know. It's weird.
That was a fantastic job by a really great...
This was the 20th anniversary of 9/11, by the way, guys.
Young man who's got a big future, and we're just honored. We're just honored. Thank you.
We want Trump. We want Trump. That's what everybody's saying in the audience. I don't think I hear that back home. Everybody's screaming right
now. God, this is so stupid.
The people are going nuts. This is a main event in itself.
I'm going to get to the Moonies clip. Everybody relax. We're getting to that.
Thank you very much.
What an amazing rendition of the national anthem.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. This is an honor to be with you, and what a great evening. And I think you're going to see an incredible fight. And Jorge, it's great, Junior.
Jorge.
It's great to be with you guys and champions. We love you, man.
Also known as Jorge.
And special people, special warriors.
Jorge is more like what you would imagine Trump was used to say to Michael Cohen when people would walk by that he needed to get to sign some kind of, hush money agreement.
We're still going strong. Trump.
That's good.
They got the chant going that's been going around stadiums in college football for the last couple of days.
That's Don Jr., desperate for his dad to like him, saying this is the same chant we've been hearing in football stadiums. What desperation.
Well, it's a great honor, and thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, very much. We love our country. I love our country. Thank you very much. So we're going to see a great fight tonight, and we've seen some good ones. That last one was...
I'm going to call it. I think it's going to be a short one.
That was.
Right now.
You think it's going to be short? Well, you've been calling them very accurately.
I think this one's going to be a short one.
Maybe you're right, because
I think so.
Future is very...
Look at this crowd. Anyway, that was the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and then the day before, Trump said if he could fight anyone, he would fight Joe Biden because he could knock him out in a second.
Josh Peter of USA Today. If you had to box somebody on Saturday night, who would it be And what would the fight look like?
Right.
Well, if I had to pick somebody in the world, not only a professional boxer, because I'll take a pass on the professional boxers, that can be a very dangerous subject. But if you said, if I had to box somebody,
anybody,
I think probably my easiest fight would be Joe Biden, because I think he'd go down very, very quickly, very, very quickly. You know, he once said, "Oh, I'd like to take him behind the bar," and he'd be in big trouble if he ever did. Now, I think Biden would go down within the first few seconds.
The first few seconds?
It seemed, I mean, honestly, like, let's just pretend to take this seriously, and then we'll get to the Trump-Moonies thing as we get very close to this rally. I think if it was boxing, I think Trump would far more quickly be exhausted by the weight of the gloves than Biden. So I think Biden would probably have the advantage. That's my set. Like, we're pretending that this is a real thing, even though this is a former president saying he would fight the current president and win. I think the weight of the gloves would tire Trump out so quickly that he would just be a sitting duck. If it was more of a mixed martial arts thing, my sense is Trump's lack of speed, as soon as Trump falls, he's done, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right. Next, we've got, so this is an interesting thing. Trump, I actually don't even understand what this is. So the description is Trump gave a speech for the deity of the Christo-fascist cult, the Moonies. Trump praised the authoritarian mind control cult for their incredible story. Yeah. So Church of, it's like Sung Yun Moon or something like that. The Unification Church. Oh, hold on. The native form. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we're talking about here. Sun Myung Moon was a Korean religious leader known for his business ventures and support for political causes. A Messiah claimant, he was the founder of the Unification Movement, members of which consider him and his wife Hak Jahan to be their true parents, and of its widely noted blessing or mass wedding ceremony. It's a whacked out cult. Okay. And this was Trump's, I guess, speech to them. It's weird.
I want to thank the Universal Peace Federation.
Oh, wait a second. Universal Peace Federation is something else, right?
In particular, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon.
Okay, that's the wife. So maybe this is an offshoot movement.
A tremendous person for her incredible work on behalf of peace all over the world. Her story of escaping from North Korea at 5 years old, at the outset of the Korean War, is an amazing example of the power of faith in Almighty God. I also want to thank her late husband, Reverend Moon, for founding the Washington Times.
Oh, God.
For which I have tremendous respect and admiration.
Bizarre. Like, I don't even know that I have a commentary necessarily, because it's just all completely crazy. Completely crazy. Okay, so we looked at this already. Yeah, good. It just none of it makes any sense. I want to say thank you to Aphex as well as Subatomic for the Twitch subscriptions. Also, a huge thank you. I can't thank enough. Lacey Carter, who just signed up at joinpacman.com with the coupon code No Recall. Lacey, thank you. You are new member number 30 today. No recall. It's the code. You can use it today. Let's see. Jimmy from Philly says, I hear people want to ask questions. Set it up. Nelson says, Jimmy from Philly is restreaming you. Very racist. Armando says his tie is tucked into his pants. Yeah, I'm guessing you're referring to Trump there. Yeah, we're not going to do the Jimmy stuff right now. I'm not emotionally ready for that. But let's see. Let's just do a few more voicemails as we close in on this Larry Elder completely crazy rally.
Yeah, hi, David. My name is Richard. I live in Maine. But yeah, I was born in 1950. I started listening to you. Unfortunately, I had some medical issues from like 2008 to 2011, 12. And my sister-in-law lives in Montague, north of Amherst. She told me about you. She's got a PhD in education. She was
Do you refer to her as doctor, and then does someone pop up and say, not a medical doctor? Okay.
blown away by your diction. You're just the way you express yourself. I've been a fan of yours for a long time.
Thank you.
I listen to you almost every day. I do record your show. I don't see it live very much. I just want to congratulate you for all your success, everything well deserved. And, I'm looking forward to see what you have in the future.
Thank you. But that's a beautiful message of peace and love. I like that. Let's see if we've got anything else here.
Hey, David, this is John from California. I was, curious to know. Yeah, don't use this.
All right, we will not use it. Let's see what else we've got here. Here's another voicemail.
Hi, David. I'd like to get your opinion on something. We know when Joe Biden was elected, he was or rather we should say that Donald Trump was the first one-term president in roughly 3 decades, obviously, being replaced by Joe Biden. And my question is, with politics in such a polarized state as it is today, Biden less than a year in office and already, I think within the first couple of weeks of him being president, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene were drafting articles of impeachment. It's kind of ridiculous. And I am just wondering if, given how polarized things are, if you think we're going to see a lot more one-term presidents going.
I do think that that's quite plausible, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's eminently plausible, for sure.
David, my name is James Palmer. I am.
Oh, whoa, and this guy goes on to actually give sensitive information. I'm going to skip over that. I'll have to listen to that in private. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay, let's see.
Hey, David. I really didn't know how to think. Let me start over.
All right. Here's another one from the same person. Let's see if they got it.
Hey, David. So today's my sister's birthday, and she...
All right. And then they tried once more, and I think they did get it.
Hey, David. Love your show. I have a really strange conundrum I find myself in. Today's my sister's birthday, and to start, she's the only one in my house not vaccinated. I got the Pfizer, my parents got the Johnson & Johnson, and my brother got the Moderna. She's the only one in my family not vaccinated, and today's her birthday. And her boyfriend just told me that, who's also not vaccinated, that he wants to plan a trip to go to Florida to go to a festival.
Dear God.
For her birthday.
Of course.
And I don't know if I can chip in and morally contribute to her going to.
Yeah, don't contribute to that. Absolutely do not contribute to that. Horrible situation, but don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, thanks to Kiss My Toe Beans for subscribing via Twitch. Also, thanks to Junk Saint for gifting a sub, and Taquito Man for signing up. Appreciate that. Let's see what else we've got here.
Hey, David. I was having a discussion with some other listeners on your Discord debate channel, and I was wondering, it led me to wonder if you would be willing to have Grover Furr on your show, or if that's someone you'd be interested in.
Grover Furr? What is that? Grover Furr is an American author and professor of medieval English literature. Well, I'm not familiar with this individual. Uh-oh. I'm looking at some of the political stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. I'm not sure about that. Okay, let me look into that.
Hi, David. This is Jessica from Minnesota. I'm calling mostly because of this new abortion thing in Texas.
Yeah.
I have one argument I've never heard anybody make, and two other arguments that I've heard, but very, very seldom. The first one is, why is it that you cannot use my kidney? If the president was dying and I had the only kidney that would save him in the whole world, you cannot have it without my permission. You cannot take my blood without my permission. You cannot have even my eyeballs or anything else, even once I'm dead. Dead. Could be dead. You can't use my stuff. You can't graft my stuff. You can't take my stuff. You can't. Why is it that you can sanction my entire body to save something?
Okay. This goes on to the full 3 minutes, gets cut off, and they call back 3 times. So it appears as though they don't actually get to the point. So I'm going to skip over it for a little bit now, but it was very interesting. Let's go through some of these voice super chats here. Matt says, keep it up, David. I've been watching you for years. Finally stable enough to donate. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Jonathan with a 2,000 yen super chat. That's got to be like $1 million, right? 2,000 yen says, assuming that capitalism of any form, even well-regulated social democratic capitalism, would lead to the extinction of humanity, would you then accept authoritarian socialism or embrace humanity's demise? So the reason I find these questions kind of pedantic is, first of all, the assumption is kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't buy into the assumption, but let's assume that any kind of capitalism, even with any element of capitalism, means humanity goes extinct. Would I then accept authoritarian socialism? Well, you'd have to prove to me that in the imaginary world where any form of any capitalism element, we end up extinct, that the authoritarian socialism doesn't also lead to extinction. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, man, maybe. Let's see what else we have here. Jimmy from Philly owns you. All right. Okay, I guess that's it. I guess we're caught up there as far as that goes.
Hi, Sir Pac-Man.
This is a new caller, by the way. It's not the one you think.
My name is Dorota, and I'm actually calling from Germany. I'm Polish Canadian. And I just watched I watch all of your videos, and I just wanted to express my gratitude.
Thank you.
The last video that I watched was with the radical Trump speaking to a psychiatrist. I don't know how you do it. I just wanted to say thank you for your incredible work, and for how sane you stay, and how, you just have your.
This goes on for a while, but I'm kind of curious where it will go. I'm actually into this.
You don't lose your integrity while doing all those interviews with My Pillow guy or whatnot. I just wanted
you're on the
to
cover
thank
of Time
you,
magazine
and I wanted
again.
to say that I'm spreading the word, and all of my friends are watching your show here in Germany as well.
Love it. Well, listen, when I was just in Germany, I got recognized at a restaurant, and maybe that person found out about it from this person. All right. Very, very good. Let's see what else. I haven't addressed, by the way, I got a disastrous haircut the other day. Because what happened is my normal, oh my God, it's actually even worse than I thought. My normal person was so booked up. She's so in demand that I called and I said, ma'am, please, I'll go anytime. Get me in. And I couldn't happen. And so I ended up going to like a barbershop, which I love the barbershop vibe. You know, I always used to go to barbershops, but it was a disaster. And the different problems are, one, way too short here. Relative to this stuff, just like this was buzzed relative to this stuff. They essentially gave me a mullet. Like when I turned to this, I mean, like I almost have a mullet. It's absolutely disastrous. Look at that. So anyway, on Friday, wait, when am I doing it? Yeah, Friday I'm getting it fixed, but it's really bad. Really, really bad. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't address it, but now I have. All right. David, you're skipping my chat super hats. No, Jimmy, I read them. Jimmy. You must have missed it. Would you consider interviewing Beau of the Fifth Column? I mean, I have nothing against him. It's just usually when I interview people that do similar things to what I do, it doesn't do that well. But maybe he could join us on a live stream. That might be interesting. All right. Let's listen to a couple more of these.
Hey, David, it's Farmer Dave again. Hey, I just listened to your
Farmer Dave, are you calling me from a tractor?
coverage of anti-vax mom or anti-vax mom 2 or whatever. The TikToker that you mentioned, Sentiments or whatever it is, he actually exchanged direct messages with her, and she explained that she was entering the people buying the cards into various state databases so that they would show up as vaccinated even if it was searched on the state internal database.
Yeah, we covered that, actually. We covered that extensively, and it's quite criminal, in fact. Jonathan clarifying his question with another 2,000 yen. I'm just wondering if there are any possible situations under which you would accept a more authoritarian system of government, or if you would be willing to sacrifice humanity for the sake of freedom. Come on, of course. If you're telling me humanity depends on us instituting an authoritarian system of government, I probably go with it, right? But it's sort of like, would you rather lose an arm or only eat avocado for the rest of your life? How would that be the situation? Yeah, if you say to me, David, either everybody's dead or we install an authoritarian socialist. Well, give me the authoritarian socialist, and hopefully at some point we can rise up and remove him and then go back to something that makes more sense. Like, I'm not a sociopath. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right. Oh, I'm actually getting word that this rally is canceled. Or that it's, oh, hold on a second. Is it at 8:30 Pacific time? Oh, that's insane. I can't do that. All right. Well, it was originally scheduled for over an hour ago. Then it got rescheduled to 10 minutes ago. And now I'm being told it's actually 8:30 Pacific, that this is all wrong. Okay. All right. Well, listen, you know what we're going to do? Let's just call it. And then tomorrow night, my intention will be to stream the results of the recall. Remember, no recall. No recall. No recall. No recall. Okay? But let's plan to get back together here tomorrow night and hopefully have early results on no. We want to have a positive result from the standpoint of no tomorrow on the recall. Okay? Great to see everybody. We've got so much more happening. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully with good results from California.